House passes Laken Riley Act in first bill of new Congress. House Republicans focused their attention on the border with their first bill of the year, passing legislation named after the slain Georgia student Laken Riley that would require detention of migrants arrested for theft. The legislation cleared the chamber in a 264 to 159 vote, with 48 Democrats joining all Republicans in support. The Senate is expected to take up the legislation this week. Dubbed the Laken Riley Act, the legislation honors the woman killed by a Venezuelan migrant who was arrested for shoplifting ahead of the attack and paroled in the country. Riley's birthday would have been Friday, which is the same day the Senate may take up the bill. Tuesday's vote marked the second time in a year that the House cleared the legislation. Republicans and a small group of Democrats approved the bill in March, but it languished amid opposition in the Democratic-controlled Senate. With Republicans now holding majorities in both chambers and President-elect Trump set to be sworn into the White House later this month, GOP lawmakers are making another attempt at moving the measure. We've been very focused on border security. The Laken Riley Act makes it clear that if you're committing crimes in America against people, it's not going to be tolerated, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise told reporters Tuesday. Now with Senate Majority Leader John Thune, RSD, saying he's going to bring it up in the Senate as early as this week, we can actually get that bill signed into law. The bill requires detention of a broad swath of migrants, including those permitted to enter the U.S. to seek asylum, if they have been accused of theft, burglary, or shoplifting. But it has sparked concern among immigration advocates because the bill requires detention of immigrants as soon as they are charged or arrested for those crimes, not when prosecutors have secured a conviction. That's in part a response to Jose Ibarra, sentenced in November to life in prison for killing Riley, who avoided a conviction on shoplifting after being sent to a diversion program. Nonetheless, critics fear migrants would be placed in detention without due process. This is a radical departure from current law, which since 1996 has generally required mandatory detention only for persons who are criminally convicted or who admit to having committed certain serious crimes. That is, when criminal guilt is certain and established beyond a reasonable doubt, said Rep. Jamie Raskin-Mendit, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Under this bill, a person who has lived in the United States for decades, say for most of her life, paid taxes and bought a home, but who was mistakenly arrested for shoplifting would not be free to resume her life, but rather would be detained and deported, even if the charges are dropped. Raskin then noted that many Republicans have expressed their own doubts about the legal system when it comes to Trump's run-ins with the law. It seems to me passing strange, Mr. Speaker, that our friends are taking this position when they do not even believe the criminal justice system can be trusted when a jury unanimously convicts someone who's had the best legal representation money can buy in the state of New York on 34 different felony criminal counts after an extended criminal trial with all due process protections, including cross-examination and the right to counsel being afforded, he said.